Hi, Tim Russell here from Multipart Finance, and today I want to talk about a question I get asked a lot, which is I've got some money in my super, I don't like shares, I want to buy property through super, but how do I do all that? So that's what I want to talk about today. And the first thing that you need to think about when setting up SMSF and buying property through super is you have made a decision to move away from having someone like Australian Super, Host Plus, manage the compliance of your super fund, and you do it yourself. When you create an SMSF, what you'll do is roll your money from your super fund into literally a bank account that you control. So there's a lot of responsibility through doing it through super. It's essentially you setting up your own company, and you're the director of the company, and you've got to manage it yourself. So in relation to setting up, you need to engage with a good accountant and a good financial planner to set up the SMSF correctly and also have a strategy behind it. But that is not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how the finance side of things work. So I'll leave you to talk about whether it's the right decision for you to have a discussion with your accountant and your planner about. But in relation to super, what happens when you create a super fund is that your accountant will set up your SMSF by creating a trust, and then what they'll do is they'll have another company called a trustee, and the trustee manages and makes decisions on behalf of the super fund. Okay, so when the bank started lending to super funds to buy property, they had a tough decision to make, because what governs the superannuation industry is the SIS Act, and the SIS Act determines that there is no recourse lending for money inside super, which means that if you defaulted on your home loan, you're not allowed to sell the super fund itself. Now, the banks want to make sure they get their money back. So they had to think about a way that they could set things up so that they can get their money back. So in relation to how the finance side of things works, what happens is, if you're looking to buy a property, the bank will say to you, we're not going to allow the trustee of the super fund to buy the property. So what they do is they'll force you to set up what's called a bear trust. And the bear trust, as the name suggests, is just an entity that's been set up literally to buy the property and do nothing else. And like any trust, you'll also have a trustee that makes decisions on behalf of the bear trust. So what happens is, the trustee of the bear trust will buy the property. The money, the loan, will be given to the trustee of the SMSF. Okay, so in the event, the other thing is, and which a lot of people don't realise, is that you who are essentially the borrowers or the SMSF have to provide personal guarantees for the property. Okay, so in the event that you default on your home loan, the bank has the ability to sell the property and close down the bear trust. They can't touch the SMSF, but if there's still money that is owed on the loan, because you provided a personal guarantee, they will go after you personally for the additional money that might be left over when you sell the loan. So that's how the finance side of things works. Now, of course, the banks don't want those headlines around when if they have to go after you personally for the home loan. So what they've done is they've put some mitigants in place to make sure that it's very unlikely that will happen. The first thing that they do is that they say the max loan to value ratio that they'll provide you is 70 to 80%. Now, most banks and the majors have now gone to 70%. So the reality is, even if you did default on your loan and the bank had to sell the property, there's a 30% equity in that property. So if the market dipped 10, 20%, they'd still be able to get their money back. So that's the first mitigant they do. The next thing that they do is they have what's called a liquidity rule. I probably spelled that wrong, but I'm just rushing. The liquidity rule means that if you've got, say, 300,000 available and you want to buy a property and the purchase price is 600,000. What the liquidity rule is they want to make sure that after you've spent all your money to buy the property, you need to have at least 10% of the purchase price left over, so 60 grand left over. So gone are the days where maybe you only had 150 available or less than that, and you only had $1 left over. The banks don't allow that anymore. Now, some banks have different types of liquidity rules, but the most common thing is 10% left over, which makes sense because you don't want to have no diversification inside your super fund. You want to have a little bit of money left over to probably continue to invest in the share market. So that's essentially a 101 about how SMF loans work. If you want to know more information, feel free to go to our website, multipartfinance.com.au. I look forward to hearing from you soon.